Hello and welcome to another episode of Race to Wealth on the Boss Up Houston Network. Here's where we focus on wealth creation, credit, lifestyle, and finances that help to keep you financially fit. I'm your host, Vanessa Harrison.
And I'm your host, Delcine Thomas.
At the start of each show, we like to start out with the intentions of our show. And so the intentions of our show today is to contribute to the healing of your relationship with money and with wealth. People have a lot of different relationships when it comes to wealth. Definitely. So we're here to contribute to the healing of this very complicated relationship that we all have with money and wealth and how we handle it all. So we also have a story for the day. The story for the day is coming from one of my mentors, Miles Monroe, who talks about this story. I've heard it several times from him. He said there was a wealthy farmer. Okay, there's a wealthy farmer,
right.
And the farmer had a lot of land. But he heard about a lot of people striking it rich. They were going out west and they were digging for gold. So he decided he had to get out there. He had to get out there with everybody who was doing all this digging. They were prospecting and he had to get out there. So he sold his land for $38,000.
Wow.
The land was really worth like $115,000, and this is back in the day. And so he sold it because he was in such a hurry to get there. He had to get his tools. He had to get there. And off he went. Somebody bought the land. He went out west to strike it rich.
Yes.
With the gold mines. And it wasn't more than 3 months later that the man who bought the land from him, who bought his farm for dirt cheap, was digging for a well, and he hit the largest oil reserve in Texas.
Wow.
The largest oil reserve in Texas.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
The guy was sick.
I know he...
Here he was. He had sold everything that he had, packed up, backpacking to go mining. And then the largest reserve in Texas history was the land that he had. So a lot of times we are looking for something and it's really already there.
My God.
It's already there.
Already there.
That's our story of the day.
Wow, that's an awesome story. That takes me right into our little bit of our next information, which is talking about the definition of wealth, just like the gentleman just said, right? So one of our definitions for wealth is the number of days you can survive without physically working and still maintain your standard of living. To be wealthy, it is important to have the right money mindset. People get their mindset from personal development, videos, motivational books, a host of other things, relationships, business relationships, having your own home, business, There's a lot of places that you get the money mindset. So we're going to delve into the mindset and wealth a lot more.
I love the definition that you were giving about wealth and what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a book the other day. It's from Miles Monroe, y'all. I love everything that he does. He was talking about how wealth can be divided into different categories, and he had divided it into 7 different categories. Mm-hmm. Because when you hear wealthy, people think, well, we all want to be wealthy. Well, there's not just money as an indicator of how wealthy you are. So some of the indicators of your wealth is your spiritual wealth, like the relationship that you have with whatever greater being that you are connected with, your spirituality. That is one way of being wealthy. Mm-hmm. And then physically, just like how well your health is and how well you take care of yourself, that is wealth. Imagine Steve Jobs, who had all the wealth in the world, but then he didn't have his health. So being physically healthy is wealth in itself. He also talked about another way that you could be wealthy is in your community. So if you have a lot of community wealth, that means that you have helped, the poor, the destitute, even the people who are going places. You've helped those people in your community. Then a lot of different people know you for all of the work that you've done in the community. That is a form of wealth as well. They say that if you have community wealth, a lot of people know you and a lot of people appreciate you. If you are in poverty when it comes to your community, your funeral will be short. No one will have anything to say.
Unfortunately. That's really hard.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I was reading on as well was Robert Kiyosaki. If I said his name right, everyone. He was talking about ultimately how it is not how much money that matters, but how much money you keep and how long that money works for you. He met he was saying in his book that he had met a lot of people and who made a lot of money, but all of the money goes out into expenses. And yet there are other forms of investing. And I was just thinking, for an example, other forms of investing, just like people start their own home-based business. You might have a beauty salon. You might invest in stocks and bonds. So there are all kinds of ways of investing pertaining to wealth.
Yeah. And even when it comes, and each one of them has a lot of there's a lot of diversity in each one of those categories too.
Yes.
Because even if you are going to invest in stocks, like you can invest in one sole stock, or you can invest in a whole group of stocks, so you can diversify your portfolio.
Exactly.
Then you don't have to worry about that one company like excelling or going under, because you've diversified your portfolio.
Exactly.
And another way that you can be wealthy is generational, because if you are leaving an inheritance for your children's children, or for your family's family, past that one person, that's another way to be wealthy as well. And then influence. If you have a lot of influence, that's the way to be healthy. If you can to be wealthy, so that's one way that you can have wealth as well, is to be influential.
Definitely. So with us talking about all of this wealth and everything, so one of the products that we have is the lockbox.
Oh yeah.
The lockbox. So go ahead, tell them about what it is.
Okay. I don't want to overtalk here.
No, you're not. No.
Okay. So with all of these different ways that you can be wealthy, it's always important to be able to organize what it is that you have security and organization in what you have.
Exactly.
So one of the products that we offer to help people to stay on track with keeping up with what they have is the financial lockbox.
Exactly.
So a lot of people, get into situations where have you ever done this before? Anybody? You buy something, but you have it already. It's somewhere, somewhere.
Right.
But then you buy another one because you're not sure exactly where you put that other thing. Like the amount of nail clippers I have bought, just those things you continue to buy. Well, one of the things that the lockbox helps you to do is to keep up with all of the things that you have financially.
Right.
Because you don't want to lose track that you have a mutual fund somewhere, or you have an IRA, or you have a pension somewhere, or you have or if you have a CD somewhere, you have a savings somewhere, you have real estate somewhere.
Right.
There have been so many stories about people having real estate that other people didn't have any idea that they even had.
Right.
And the financial lockbox helps you to keep up with everything when it comes to your finances. So it's not all dumped into one box. You can find it.
And it has to do with family members, or like you said, other people knowing where you have it for security reasons. And not only that, but if anything were to happen to you and you're not able to get to it, then then you've already told someone where it is, and they don't have to go looking all over your house.
Right.
Case of emergencies.
Yeah, so, because it's in the clouds.
Yeah.
It's a virtual safety deposit box.
Exactly.
So if something were to happen to you and then the right people are notified and they have access to all the things they need to help make sure that all of your business continues as usual. And it's really good. I really love that it's easy to access and you can access it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The financial lockbox.
Exactly. Whereas if you go to a bank, if you go to a bank and you have, documents and things like that, well, the bank is only open physically. Yeah. It's only open if you have something that you need to get physically. There's only a certain amount of time that you can go to the bank to get that.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So, yeah. So we were talking about wealth a few minutes ago, too. And so I wanted to just say some of the things that, where you can see wealth is travel. And I was talking about the fact that I was in the military, and being in the military, I had a chance to travel. I went to Dubai, and if anybody knows the word Dubai, they're talking about wealth. Yeah. Has to do with oil, has to do with their culture. It's there, and they are just multi billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires. Have you seen the yachts that they can buy,
Not close and personal like you did when you were there.
Right. I mean, the hotels
I've seen it on TV.
Well, what you see on TV, talking to everybody out there, all my listeners and viewers, don't forget to share our channel while we're taping. So look, yes, if you've seen Dubai on TV, I can personally say you are looking at what is real. Matter of fact, I was there over 9 to 10 years ago. I even had a chance to see how they were building some of their hotels. They weren't even built yet. I mean, at least 10, I would say 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of hotels were not even built, and it was
the architecture is different.
Yeah.
Here it's very different.
Yeah, the final finishing touches that they have now, and then to see the people that they had working for them. I mean, I've seen tens of thousands of men. It was almost, take you back in the ancient days. Yeah, tens of thousands of people, workers. It's just like here, if we do construction, you see the men that they have on staff.
On the site.
Yeah, that's helping to build these construction buildings. Well, over there, it was like quadruple.
There were so many people
over 10, 20,000 men at one time. Because they might not have been building just one. They might have been building 2 to 3.
Yeah, at a time.
At one time. So that's why they had so many.
Well, it's interesting you bring up travel, because travel is one of those things that it's a great investment. When you invest in travel and you get the experiences, that is something that makes you truly wealthy, because you can relate to people in a different way, and you can, talk with people about things that you've experienced.
Exactly.
And so travel is one of those things. It's worth the investment,
Right.
It's to have the experiences.
And you know what? What we were talking about a few minutes ago is also helps you with your mindset, because it puts you in another state of mind. It broadens your horizon because you've gone abroad and seen, other countries that you had never have gotten a chance to see. So, and it's wealthy. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So knowledge is wealth.
Yeah, I completely agree. That reminds me, there was an experience. I was in Costa Rica for a little while, and I had an experience there that I just cannot compare to anything else.
Wow.
It wasn't really exactly the buildings, but I think of it as more like, I would say a spirituality, a wealth and a spirituality, but we were there in the Arenal region of Costa Rica, and there they have a volcano.
Wow.
And it was 2013.
Right.
And myself and some of my friends and our Spanish club group, we went and we were enjoying ourselves, and we were there like it's an island.
Wow.
So we're there near the water, and then we heard this noise. It was the strangest thing. It sounded like a tiger or a cat's roar.
Right.
But it was coming from everywhere.
Wow.
So we were like, what
was
that?
What was it?
And so
I want to know.
have you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I want to know.
So, but the people there, they said that was the volcano.
Wow.
And the volcano was erupting.
Oh
and we were like, is that normal? They said no, it hadn't erupted there in a long time. Mm-hmm. But we were there to see it. And that night we went out on there's this long, long bridge where the Arenal region volcano is.
Right.
And we went out on the bridge and we saw the lava spewing out over the sides of the volcano.
Was it scary?
It was a very humbling moment because you know that something like this could really wipe you out.
That's what I mean.
It could take you out. And the night sky was pitch black, but there's this orangish, reddish lava that was coming out out of the sides of the volcano.
Oh my God.
And we stood there in awe just looking at this thing.
That is amazing.
You know, and I will never forget that ever. And I'm a teacher, so I was telling my kids about it, and we were studying about volcanoes.
Right.
And I told them what I had seen. And they were like, really? I said, yeah, let's look it up. We got on the computer and we looked up the Arenal region volcano in 2013.
Wow.
And I showed them my pictures on Facebook and everything. We were there. We saw the volcano. And then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. They wanted to know if we were like running for our lives and stuff like that. But it's those experiences that are, that help to make you wealthy.
Yes.
Because you have those experiences.
Yes, definitely. I do so agree. And talking about experiences and mindset, we were discussing systems.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit about systems. Everything has a system. So, we were just talking about, and people, and finances.
Yeah.
And the systems that people can use for their finances and things like that. So we also have a program has to do with budgeting. So our program can help you align your money with your values and goals. It can help you short and long term. It also will help you definitely to help you to not overspend, and it also helps you to review your bills. It also helps you to take time to go back to see what you've been spending, to control your finances. And of course, savings is one thing I didn't know was not that I didn't know it, but I didn't think about using it in finances like this.
Yeah.
Savings is an expense.
Yes, it is.
I know. Well, we know it is.
We know now since we've been...
But a lot of times,
since we've been working with the programs that we have and learning more and more.
Exactly.
Now we know it is an expense.
Yeah, but normally you just say, I'm just saving. This is my savings account.
Yeah.
You just verbally, I know I have. I don't know if anybody else out there have. But
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. I just say, this is my savings account. I'm saving money. But if it's coming from your whole amount or your money, not just your bank account, but what you're making, when you get paid, it's an expense.
Yeah, if it's coming out of your income,
it's an expense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all kinds of light bulbs open up, and it's not that, friends, family, and viewers out there, it's just when you're studying more about finances like we're doing, because the business that we're in. Oh, what about for 1 second, we need to make to let everybody know we're not professional lawyers.
Oh, yeah.
We're not, accountants, but we are in the financial.
But we are businesswomen who work in the financial industry.
And that was a disclaimer. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. But back to what I was saying.
Wealth is an accumulation of things. And so systems, like you were saying, are so important, to have a system in place. Because as you're accumulating more and more wealth, you will accumulate more and have it more organized if you have a system in place. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes to budgeting, the tool that we have for budgeting allows you to see exactly what income you have coming in and then what monies are going out to different places. And, some people hear the word budgeting and they get overwhelmed. And they say, I tried to budget before. It's not for me. I'll just spend the way I've been spending. But like she was saying, when you budget, you get to align your money with what you really believe in, with your own belief system. So if you say, I want to budget so that I can spend more time with my kids. I want to budget so that I can have more trips with my husband. I want to budget so that I can do whatever. When you budget, you can actually make that happen.
You can.
Because you've already set aside money for those things. And with the budgeting tool, it allows you to see where you went wrong.
Right.
Because sometimes the budget, you can keep it the same from month to month.
Right.
But then if you see that every single month you're spending like way too much on going out to eat or buying new shoes or just buying Snickers candy bars, whatever it is, if you see that too much is going in that direction, you can edit it so that it can go in the direction that you want it to go. If you wanted to spend more time on dates, then you could put that towards the date section. Right. You can put it towards, your kids' activities. If you want them to be well-rounded, then you can direct your money in that in that area.
Exactly.
So that you're not all over the place.
And you know what too, Vanessa? It really makes a difference because it will take the pressure off of you. Now, this may not be for the perfect people out there that's got it down packed and you can do it on your own. You might not need a system. And that's great, but we want to help. We're into helping people. So that's why we're letting them know about our budgeting program. And I myself have an example to the fact that I did used to pay my bills on my own physically, write my checks out and things like that. And I had it going on for a while. And next thing you know, about the 5th month, I'm missing something. I'm like, what do you mean I missed my bill? It's not a phone call. What do you mean? I said, you know what? Things were starting to get more hectic because my life was starting to get more fuller of events and things like that I was doing. And sometimes my focus was off, or I didn't make my monthly notes that I would normally make to make sure that I take care of that. So that's when I went to automatic payment. And I'm telling you, I'm loving life, y'all. I'm telling you. I don't know about you.
I know that's right.
But auto pay, it's on point. It's on point. Yeah. I know millions out there use it. All I know is I use it, and I'm so much more relaxed when the 1st or the 15th of the month come because the bills are coming. Car note, car insurance, whatever they are. So to help yourself, our program we have, you can get in touch with us. We'll give you the information. And besides that, like I said, it takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
You'll be so much more happy. I guarantee you I am.
It definitely does.
And you know what? We were talking about the different expenses. I'm married, so me and my husband have certain different expenses. We have our expenses personally and individually as well, and then we have household things. Whereas Vanessa,
and I'm a mom.
Right.
I was married, but that
okay.
chapter's closed.
He's coming again. For now.
So I have to handle my budget in the way that works for me. When I was married, we handled it a certain way, and then now that I'm a single mom who want my kids to have the best possible life.
Yes.
I want to have the best possible life. I want to continue to do business. I want to continue to have time with my friends, continue to, I have a couple of businesses.
Yes.
So I want to make sure everything is running the right way. So for me, I have my budgeting set up so that everything is in a specific place. So as soon as I get any kind of income, I'm talking about anything.
That's good.
Anything at all. If I get some money that comes in my hand, and then I'm dividing it up into different categories so that it can go to those different places. Because I know definitely I'm going to have to take care of where I live. I'm going to have to take care of my business expenses. I'll have to take care of my health and wellness, for doctor's exams. I got Invisalign, so that's out of, my health and wellness.
It's so beautiful. It's millions that have it.
So I divide it up into different categories so that, you hear about people having a Swiss bank in this place or that place. It's because they can keep putting money in those things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to always pay myself in the way that I do that.
Right.
And I haven't always done that.
Right.
But the way that I've learned to do is I do need to pay myself first.
Come on.
And for me, when I say pay myself first, I mean that as soon as I get some money, I need to pay into all of these different places. I need to pay for, my kids having fun. I need to pay for my health and expenses. I need to pay for my car. I need to pay for my house. I need to pay for all these different things.
I'm telling you.
So
auto pay.
I send the money there. So when the auto pay comes through, that something will be there.
Right.
We've all gotten off track before.
Yes, we have.
But, I try to pay myself first all the time. And the budgeting tool that we have has really helped a lot because budgeting is one of those things that at first you might do it 1 month and then the next month you might forget about it, but if you have a system where you can keep going to it and keep trying, you will get better and better and better and better. And then you'll say, oh my gosh, like I have this account for charities. I was not paying attention to that account. I don't know, maybe because of the COVID, I wasn't going to church as much or whatever. And the account was building up. We even got a TV. Delcy and I got a TV to give away at our next event, and that came out of my charities account because I know we're going to be giving this away. So to be a philanthropist, you've got to put it in a place where you can give it away. Because if it had been in my spending money, it would have been gone a long time ago. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I love it. It's helping me.
Exactly. So again, we were talking about systems and things like that, and making a shopping list as far as budgeting. Make a shopping list. I mean, I know a lot of our viewers and listeners. I know you guys do that all the time, but then sometimes you might just run in the store and just need a couple of things. But a lot of times, save you money. So you don't go in there picking up everything, which I know we all have, but we just talking with having a conversation with you guys about how things are and how we want to make them better for you guys. So you know what? We also wrote a couple Bible strips. And this may not be for everybody, but we was like, hey, the Word of God also says, I wrote down Luke 4, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and think the cost. In other words, whatever you're going to do when it comes to finances, and I know you have done it, when you get ready to buy a car, you want to buy a car, a house, how much money do you have to put towards that? That's what that verse is talking about. Yeah. Counting the cost. That's the way that's the way I've heard it from my pastor. Yeah. But, count the cost first. So we're talking about finances. So it's also biblical. It's not just, us just saying it, but, just like Lisa was talking about the farmer, and him sowing what he sowed, and he thought he was, and
he thought he was going to strike it rich. He left from where he was.
And he was
But
rich.
it goes back to another script that we had was Philippians 4:6. And it says, be not anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So there are so many things that we want in life, but it's so important that we think about these things and maybe go towards those things, putting our money towards those things in some account or something like that, so that you're not being anxious like, I just got to get this one thing. What is one thing that just think about it for y'all. Put in the comments one thing that you would think, oh, I want to get that right this second. You gotta have it. I saw some shoes the other day.
Oh my God, just think about it. Ooh, I know they were nice.
They were beautiful. They were all golden and everything. I know she's the one who is so, jazzy and everything. But these shoes, girl, you would have loved them. You would have loved them. They were gold. They had like little wings at the back of them.
Ooh.
They had red on the bottom. I don't really care too much about red bottoms, but they were.
That's nice.
And they were so cute, and they were very comfortable because they had like a lot of cushion in them, even though they were high heels. I know we have men watching this show too, but ladies, if you see a high heel and it looks like it's very comfortable on top of being so sophisticated,
Oh my God.
something that you really want. But I couldn't get those shoes. I'm a single mother with 3 kids. I can still get them.
Yeah, exactly.
I can.
Exactly.
But in that account, I had already been googly eyes about so many other things that I was like, I'm not going to get that right now. And that has saved me because now I still have money to pay my other things. And I'm proud of myself.
That's right.
Because
right now,
and
like you said,
they will still
anxious.
be there.
And sometimes don't be anxious, because sometimes, like you said, you go back and you be like, oh my God, they still there. And sometimes you gotta just relax your mind. You want to be financially healthy, mentally as well.
And then you guys, do you even see my shoes right now?
No,
my point exactly. But anyway, listen, we've got to take a quick break. It's always good chatting with you guys. Yes. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Oh my God! I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business owner that is struggling to promote your company?
Our topic today is, what's your status?
Shoot the dice at this point.
You just shoot the dice. Roll the dice.
So,
yes.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's attorneys.
Victoria Blanco.
I love it.
Imagine being televised on a national platform. How about being a host or sponsor on a syndicated podcast? Or being featured on exclusive promotions and interview for your product to your ideal customer? Hi, I'm Kayla Sneed, and I'm head of sales with Boss Up Houston. And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify. I'll be seeing you soon.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Welcome back, visitors and listeners and all our friends and fam out there, business partners. So we're coming back, and we wanted to talk about maybe some things that you might already know about, but we wanted to bring the attention to, listeners that may not have heard about it. So we wanted to talk about the way that we transfer money and some of the apps that we know about, just in case there's some listeners that don't know. So, of course, there's Zelle. Am I saying that right? Zelle?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. Zelle. We have Cash App. We have TransferWise. Now, that's one I just heard about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We
it's
also
good to learn new things.
Yeah. We also have the Square, just to name a few. And like I said, this is ways that we can transfer money pertaining to your bills or business with other, if you're at an event and you need people to transfer money to you, and they work really well, especially the Zelle and the Square and the Cash App, because you get the money immediately.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. You do want to have more money coming in than you have money going out.
I know.
That's something that a lot of people, need to get accustomed to. To put as much money in as possible, and that's really good because when you are transferring money from different accounts, you can do that, because if you have one account where you get income coming in, then you can use these accounts to send to Zelle to your account for your nutrition, or for your account for your house, or for your account for your car.
Right.
You can send it to all those different places. I really like that.
Well, awesome.
Oh. Listen. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and then there are some other apps too that I think you might find useful to cut down on some of those unnecessary transfers. Because have you ever had a subscription to something and maybe it costs like $5.99 a month or $12.99 a month, and then you get another one for $3.99 a month? Well, over time, you start to forget, like, which subscription did I have and what was I using that for? Maybe you were red hot for that thing at the time. You wanted to use it all the time.
Right.
But then as time goes on, you forget about it. Well, there are some apps out there that help you to know what are all the subscriptions that you have. So some of those apps are Truebill. If you get Truebill, if you get that app, it will have a list of all the subscriptions that you have, which is going to make it easier for you to cancel those subscriptions. So if you have a Disney Plus subscription, but your child has graduated from high school and they're going to college, it's time to do away with that Disney Plus, or, any of the things that you have subscriptions for that you no longer need. Even though wealth is an accumulation of things, it's also a shedding of the things that you no longer need. Things that don't serve you, they must go. So you could use Truebill to see what subscriptions you have and take off the ones you don't need. There's Trim, which makes sense because you're trimming off all the things that you don't need. There's Bobby, Bobby. Bobby, that's my dad's name, my baby's name. And then there's Subby. So Subby, and my brother. There's we like that name. And there's a subscription, Subby, and it allows you to take off any of the subscriptions that you no longer need anymore.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's what we need, more information about ways to control our spending or control our funds, or to it's an asset to have that, to use it immediately when you need it. And not to take away from that, but talking about the apps, but we were also talking about the mindset. I know you had mentioned a book earlier, but I wanted to bring up a book as well. I did bring up Joseph Kiyosaki. Is one of the books that I've been reading, and if you want to change your mind in reference to business, having your self-employment, just to name a few, self-employment, business, investing, and home ownership or ownership. So another book I'm reading is Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Oh, let me back up. Number one, the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
We have to put the Bible in there. Okay. Bible covers everything. But there's nothing wrong with additional information having to do with business or either personal development. So one of the other books I wanted to name is Winning Woman Warrior by Delsey Thomas.
Right.
Hey, gotta put a plug in there about myself. So, yes, I have a book. It's on Amazon. It's under Delsey Thomas, Winning Woman Warrior. And it helps you to focus on your motivational. Of being motivated and focused. That's what that's about. But these books are so powerful, and they really have changed my life in so many ways, because of course they say put it in a book. If you want to hide something, put it in a book. It is so true, because the books that we read, and even the motivational YouTube videos that I listen to. Focus on yourself is one powerful one about focusing on yourself. Then Denzel Washington, he has an awesome speech. Oh my goodness, his speech was phenomenal. Yeah. And Boseman.
Boseman has a speech too.
Black Panther. The actor that just unfortunately passed away. His speech, college speech that he did at college, was just awesome, and also it's just so valuably important that you help yourself to invest in yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. The more you invest in yourself, the more you empower yourself mentally. Because when you focus on the mind and you change your thinking mentally, it's on. You are unstoppable, because you're empowering yourself mentally to help, not just for you, but also it's for your family. You know, getting to that, you were going to mention about credit repair.
There was the book that has influenced me a lot recently has been The Millionaire Next Door. This book talks a lot about some of the things that we associate with people who are wealthy, and some of them aren't necessarily what you would expect, so it talks about wealthy people and some of the habits that they have, some of the work ethic that they have. I know there's a couple of other books that no, I don't want to say that one because but The Millionaire Next Door is a great one. And then there's another book by Charles Schwab, and he's a great investor.
Yeah, you talked about definitely.
Recently I've gotten into investing, which it's new to me. Everybody's at different stages at different times.
Exactly.
But for his book, I'm looking at it for the investment advice. I know that I was talking with someone in my family who was talking about some investments. I'm interested in doing it also, but I want to know a little bit about investments before I just jump in, because on some things you can get your feet wet and that's okay. But for me, when it comes to investing, I don't want to just put all my eggs in one basket. I want to know a little bit about it first. It's always great to go to networking events and things like that so that who are the people who are involved in what you need to do?
That is so true.
Who are the key players? What is the writing that goes along with this? And I was, I think it was E.T. the hip hop preacher. He, a lot of times if you're getting up early in the morning, you might want to talk, listen to his video because he's talking about you need to get up off of your seat and get it done. He has that kind of spirit. And but he was talking about them wanting to put to erect a church in one side of town where it was predominantly another race than the race that he was. And the people there thought it was because of their ethnicity. And happy Juneteenth to everybody,
Happy Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Day. Yes.
What would we do without our fathers?
Yes, we give honor to you on today.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We're so thankful for you. So E.T. was saying that the people were thinking that it was because of who they were, but the discrimination came in because they didn't have the paperwork that was necessary or that was required. So sometimes it's a good idea to invest in the written part of things so that you know what the steps are to get there. So Charles Schwab, I'm looking at his book for investing, and I really liked what he had to say about investing in a lot of different stocks at one time, and how you wait on the return for those, and it's interesting. I'm still reading.
Yeah,
that's the stage I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's definitely the reading is definitely interesting, important too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, when we were talking about investing in yourself, we wanted to definitely touch on, it's really touchy, but you're going to enjoy it. We're going to help you. Credit repair. Oh my God. We're talking about all this wealth, all around, all this wealth, and you're taking care of your finances and things like that. So what we also are in the business of helping you to be financially healthy. And credit repair is definitely one of those things to help you become or stay financially healthy.
That's
Would you
so
not
true.
say?
That's so
It is true.
We talk about investments, and so when it comes to investing, one of the first things is you have to decide how much you're going to invest and how often. So you have to decide: are you going to invest $100 every month? Are you going to invest $250 every month? Whatever your investment level is, you have to decide on that and go with it.
Exactly.
And so what happens with some people who aren't quite there in the mindset, some people know that they can go and blow $100 in one sitting. If they go out to eat, dinner, if they go and get an outfit, if they go out, the $100 is blown.
Gone. Blink your eye.
You know, blink your eye and you can spend $300. Is anybody else like me? It will be gone.
In a day.
So, but then when it comes to things like credit repair,
right.
And then some people know that they've had this issue for a long time. Mm-hmm. For 20 years, they've had issues with their credit. They've been struggling. They can't qualify for anything. Mm-hmm. They're surely not going to apply for anything in front of their friends or family because it's just going to end bad.
Yes, it
you know, and some things they don't even apply for because they know they're going to get turned down, and they're in a situation where they're paying double deposits, triple deposits, and things like that. And people are not realizing that is an investment in your future. And when you go to invest in this credit repair and all these other services that we have, because
so many.
There are so many services. When you go to invest in your financial stability, go to invest in your financial education, it's not one of those things where you say, "Oh, it's more than $25." Oh, this is. I thought you were gonna give that to me for free.
Right.
So it is an investment, but the mindset has to be there that you definitely want to invest in something that is going to yield you a lot of returns. Once you have excellent credit and you're handling your money in a responsible way, then you get access to more money.
And exactly. And not only that, is the mindset you want to take the pressure off. You know, you're paying some bills, you have, you know, some other things going on, but you still pressured because when you go get an apartment, you know, they're going to, like she said, they're going to double your deposit because your credit. Get it fixed. Come on. Get it fixed. We're here to help you. We have a fitness program. We have a financial fitness program that will just take you to whatever level you're trying to go, 650, 750, 850. Yes, it goes to 850.
From 300 to
850. So, you know, definitely we're going to give you our information at the end so you can get in touch with us. But like I said, it's pressure, you know, not having that done and been waiting for so long when you have two powerful women right here that can help you just with a phone call or just text us and we can help you immediately. But it's valuably important, not just to you, it's valuably important because what about your family? What about your children? So you want to get this under control now so you can teach your children, because a lot of us didn't get a lot of information when we was in school. So, you know, you want to do this most definitely.
Yeah, when it comes to investing, one of the best things to invest in is to invest in yourself.
Yes.
And so we're here to support you for any of the needs that you have.
That's right.
And we're on this journey, you know, as well. You know, the more I look at that financial lockbox, it has what every portfolio should have. So it's not only for people who are in a bad position.
Yes.
It's also for people who have so much wealth. They have accumulated so much. It's a way to organize your portfolio, that financial lockbox.
Exactly.
And so even just looking at the financial lockbox, I think, I need to put that in my portfolio. I need to get that in my portfolio. So it's good to see, good to look at, good to have access to it, because in doing so, you see your future. So we're really excited about all of our products and services. We're excited to use them. We're excited to help other people to get connected with them. But for now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back
in
just a moment.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touché.
What? For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
If you like this video, please share it.
And hit the subscribe button to watch more great Geico videos if you... Hey, guys, can you please watch the begonias? Just planted those.
Sorry.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Everyone. So we are going to go forward and give you a little information out of one of the books that I've read, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. So what I wanted to share with you that he talks about, one of the things he talks about in his book is the 4 different types of people that make up the world of business and who they are and what makes them unique. So in his book, first of all, and I know a lot of people, viewers, listeners, business partners, I know so many people have read this book because it was so powerful when it first came out. So what he went through was the fact that he had 2 fathers. And when I say that, his original father was a working father. And he always enforced in him about education. Well, he had a friend, and his friend's father was a wealthy father. And that made him think about, why can't we be rich? So his biological father said, well, ask the rich dad. I'm the father that works. Asked him. So his book is going to be talking about what he did, or the difference between the 2 fathers. Both of them loved education, hands down. But then his biological father worked, and the rich dad invested. So what I wanted to share with you was the 4 parts of the quadrant, and which are you. So the E is for employee, the B is for business, the S is for self-employed, and the I is for investor. So before you answer the question, got one more thing I wanted to share. Are you financially free? The quadrant was written for you if your life has come to a change in your finances or in your destiny. So this is charted for that reason. This is why he, made the chart.
Yeah.
So like I said, those things, that chart was written for these type of people. And so which one are you?
He was so, he divided the people into 4 different quadrants.
Yes, he did.
And it seems like we are in all of the 4 different quadrants at different times in our life. Like everybody's in a different stage. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people are employees, and then sometimes they're investors, and then sometimes they're self-employed. And what was the other one?
The other one was business owner, self-employed, an investor. You invest. The other one was an employee, business owner, or and either self-employed and investor.
Yes, that reminds me. I know of a man who's pretty wealthy, and I feel like he works in all of these different areas. Wow. Like even now, because he invests in people in the community, and then but as people, he's a business owner. But then as people see him out in the field and working and doing what he's doing, they know that he can do this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, hey, would you do this for me? I'd hire you to do this. And then he becomes an employee, all because he's out there working. Wow. So and then he's allowed to like accumulate even more wealth, which is good.
Exactly.
Have you noticed how the people who are already working, they're like in the rhythm of working, they are getting more done than anybody else. Even just like when people are in the rhythm of budgeting, they are getting more done with their money than anybody else. It's like if you hire somebody to do some work, and if they are a business person and they've got all these different things going on, they got a husband and kids and a dog and a monkey and all this stuff going on, like 3 businesses. If you have them to do something, they will have it back to you like boom, in your hand. Right. But then have you ever hired somebody who they're not doing anything at all, and there's something for them to do, then it just never gets done. Like they're not in the rhythm of like working.
And that to me, that takes you back to the mindset. Yeah. Because like you said, if you're in the rhythm of working, that's your mindset also. Yeah. In order for you to get paid, you have to work. You know, and if you're in it, you're gonna be in that zone and you're gonna make it happen and you're gonna get it done and you're gonna be responsible. Whereas like she said, for a person that's not working, depending on their mindset or what's going on in their life, they gotta get their mind right. Yeah. You gotta get your mind right. But at the same time, people can be set in an environment where their environment can inspire them.
That's true.
So a lot of times some people need to be inspired, and again, that's being around other people, like-minded people, or people introducing you to other organizations that you may can volunteer for, or either other organizations that have to do with what you're doing, your job, or either your your business, and things like that. And once you get introduced to that, you start to open up and see that, I like what she does, or I like this particular business, and I think I would like to be involved in that.
Yeah, and I think that would benefit me.
Right. And if it's going to benefit them, then they can get more involved, and that opens up that window, and it opens up their mindset to see another way of that they can live, grow, and make money.
Yeah.
So that's definitely right on time. And I'm just like all over Robert Kiyosaki's book. He was just so awesome. There's one other statement he made really quick. If people are flexible enough to make a mindset change, I think they will find the process of achieving greater financial security or freedom easily. Mm-hmm. If people are flexible enough to make a mindset change, I think they will find the process of achieving greater financial security and freedom easy. And, I've not always, just something personally really quick, I've not always been in this position that I'm in, where I have, a jewelry boutique. I've also written my first book. I've been in the military for over 15 or so years. I've traveled and things like that. But, it started from, our family. Of course, you started as a young person and getting involved in different things. So, it's a growth thing. Yeah. It's a growth thing. It's an experience, like I said, just being willing to open up to something new. Yeah. The mindset. The mind is the most powerful thing that we have to change our life. You can do it. If I can do some of the things I have done, I know you can. Call me up. We'll talk about it.
I completely agree. The mindset is everything.
It is everything.
When it comes to wealth, it really is an accumulation of all the things that have all of the experiences that you've had.
Yeah.
I love, like, you've been in the military.
Right.
For me, I've been in education.
Yes.
So for me, I'm a bilingual
gosh.
elementary school teacher. So my languages are English and Spanish. So I've done language projects over the years that help people to learn the language that they need for their job or their occupation.
Yes.
And I help kids to grow by setting goals. So I'm a reading specialist, and so I help people to see where they can improve, like with their comprehension, their accuracy, their fluency, expanding their vocabulary. And also I teach financial literacy, where we talk about how people can build themselves up financially. Set some goals, and not just small goals, but set some big goals that you're not sure that you could even achieve those goals.
Exactly.
But once you set a goal and break it into smaller steps, you definitely can and will get it done.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we're all in the, I know the episode is called Relationships with Money,
Right.
and we all have relationships with money.
Yes, we do.
You know,
Yes, we do.
You know, every industry, every business has a relationship with money.
Yes, we
And
do.
just like the fish have a relationship with water. Once the water is removed or the fish is removed out of the water, it can't survive. You know, man has a relationship with trees, how they have, you know, we get oxygen from the trees. We can't breathe without the oxygen from the trees, but we're the only species that, like, cuts out the wrong relationships just because we have the will to do so.
Exactly.
So, you know, definitely finances and wealth and all those different areas are things that you need. You don't want to cut yourself out of something that you need. So get what it is that you need for the life that you want. As long as we're on this earth, you can have anything that your heart desires. And I encourage you to go after it. You know, call us up, and we would love to connect with you and help you to achieve your goals.
And changing your mindset.
This has been
for their financial future, to be financially fit.
This has been another episode of Race to Wealth, where we focus on your financial health on the Boss Up Houston Network. Now remember, you can reach the Boss Up Houston Network as Boss Up Houston Network on all social media platforms, and contact Boss Up Houston Network at bossuphoustonnetwork@gmail.com. Until
the next episode.
Next time.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Ah!